Hello and welcome. This is the first audio blog on SwindonGreyhounds.com. I'm Chris Watts. I work for Swindon Greyhounds and I run the website here. I just thought this would be something a bit different to do. Never really done an audio blog before. If you like it, be sure to give some feedback. I'd love to hear what you think. I'm not quite up to putting my face on camera for this yet. I don't think it's necessary, but there we go. Anyway, just basically this one's going to be a quick rundown of the Opens on Friday. And I'm making you guys aware as well of a couple of other things happening at Swindon in the coming weeks. So this card on Friday then, it's the ARC semi-finals. Obviously, the last stop until the Sky Night on Thursday, March the 8th. Everyone's buzzing about it at the track. It's a big deal. We love it at Swindon. We love a good Sky Night. And this is a cracking build-up for it. So, the first Open on Friday then, it's a standard race. It's a peculiar race because you've got Hernandez in there who should be 2s on, 3s on. Sheerly on his class. He's an absolute class above in this. I mean, kind of true for Mark Wallace through the middle. He's got a middle tag on him, but he runs all over the shot, to tell you the truth. He cuts out wide on the run up. He comes into the rail on the bends. He will run his own race, really. Farlow Orion and Jazz Rasta, you'd want them swapped around the traps, really. You'd want Farlow Orion in 2 and Rasta in 1, if I was looking at the race. But arguably, I mean, Farlow Orion I think is very underrated. I think he can go full pout when he wants to. He's got cracking breeding behind him. I believe he's got a little hock injury that he had when he was a babby, so that'll be holding him back slightly. And Jazz Rasta's certainly classy enough, but he's knocking on a bit now, the old boy. But my tip in this Swindon standard is Hernandez all the way. I think it's buying money if he produces anywhere near his best. But anyway, next Open is 509. Love these 509s. Again, very tough race, but it's got to be a tip for Swindon's own World Charm in this. Alfie, as he's known in the kennel, he's a lovely big boy. He runs 509 really, really well. And seeing him out of 3, you've got Ding Hero in 2, who will want to cut on the rail early. Bella's Bub will shift out wide. I think he gets an absolute clear into the bend. He's been going full pout for quite a while now, though. He's had a lot of racing, this boy. He's nearly 4 years old as well, which is remarkable, really. But he should be a big player in this race. Obviously, you've got Burwood Freddy to watch on the wide outside. He's a dog you can never keep your eye off of. He's a class act. And then you've got Ardmell Player, who I think can pick up a place. I would prefer to see him over further myself. Possibly not 685 Swindon, but certainly a 550 Henlow, 575 Romford type of distance. Then the next Open we've got is a Stayers event. Now this is class, absolutely class race. And my vote all the way goes to Ballymac Pet. Matt Dartnell's Stayer has absolutely romped up at Yarmouth in the Premier League for the past couple of weeks. She is absolutely phenomenal over 6. I mean, if you're going to bet anything for the Regency, by the way, bet her. She would be a really good runner for you. Peggy Starling 4 for Chris Alsop had a blinding debut at Hove. The time wasn't up to much, but don't let that put you off. It was a sensational run. I think she's more an 8-bend bitch, to be truthful. I would love to see her over 737 Sky Night, to tell you the truth. I think she'll stay all day, and certainly look out for her in the TV Trophy later on in the year. To pick up the places, obviously you've got to look at Penske Rain, really. He was in the final of the St Ledger. He's been off the boil, it has to be said, but Kev's brought him back into graded racing, and he has thrived the 480 trip, and he looks to be ready now to step back up, and this will be a good test for him with some class dogs. So then we move on. It's the ARC semi-finals, and I've got a couple of value bets, I think, in these races. In the first semi-final, my vote goes to Mark My Words. I think he's been vastly underestimated in this competition. Everyone I've spoken to, everyone's got a different opinion, which for one thing is brilliant in a competition like this. There's no out and out, this is going to win. But mark my words, he is underestimated. You've got to remember, this is the dog that was doing track records for fun in the Produce Stakes. The quick run caught up to him in that competition, but he's got over that in this competition. There's a nice bit of break now between the semi and the finals, and I think he can justify. It's not a race that's particularly easy to look at because you've got Farlow Titan in 4 who really does want the red. He'll be moving left out the boxes, which might cause Jazz Apollo yet more problems at Swindon. That dog hasn't had a clear run in all its races at Swindon. Given a clear run though, this dog will do 28.10. That's my bet. He's class, absolutely class. And as for the qualifiers, Longwood days I'd be looking at, but he hasn't impressed me. He should be doing it a lot better than what he is. He took seemingly an age to get past Droopy's Loner in his first heat, and then he completely fluffed it for me in the second round. I wasn't impressed at all. But he's capable. He's got form behind Eden Star at Bellevue. I mean, 27.47 there is flying. And would win, in fairness, would have won him the laurels in any other competition, but Eden Star was in it. So, but my pick in the first semi-final then is 1 to beat 3 and 5. I'd love to side with Farlow Titan, but I just can't see him getting a clean run. So the second semi-final, it's a lot easier to decipher, I think, this one. I think Droopy's Loner would be a good price in this. You've got Sid's Dream, who did the clock last week. I mean, he showed blinding pace to the bend. This dog is a freak of early pace. But I think Droopy's Loner on the rail. If you think about it, it sounds daft. He's got a lot less, I do apologise, has got a lot less travelling to do. I mean, she absolutely is a paint stripper. And will just absolutely wang out and go all the way. I think she'll be a big runner in this. And because she was impressive last week, but because she got the track record holder in 6, that does automatically give you a price. You know, because that dog in 6 has got a TK rec on his card, that automatically brings everything else up by about half a point. So, again, you'll get a good price on the one, I think, in this one. And for qualifiers, well, I think Ballymac Cryan would be a big runner. I know that a lot of people have backed this dog. I've not been impressed, but he does his task well. I think his future's definitely over 6. I don't think he wants anything less. I would look out for him, you know, in the 6-bend competitions later in the year. But he does his job well, and in this race, I can just see him tucking behind Droopy's Loner on the run-up. Because Droopy's Loner is going to absolutely wang the lids. And if Ballymac Cryan just get in a pitch behind and just follow her around, he could even win. You know, I'm not saying he couldn't win, but I certainly think he'll qualify. I think the 2 Mason dogs, I think Granard Bound, he does enough. I don't think he particularly... I don't know, I'm in an iron about the dog. And Bowtime Joey really wants 6 bends. This is too short for him. You know, he showed it in he was in the Prestige at Hall Green at the start of the year. He wants that sort of trip, you know, the 600 plus. He doesn't want much further. He don't want to go above 700, but he wants a good 600 metres. So, but my pick for the second round, the semi-finals, second leg even, is 1 to beat 6 and 2. So that would actually give us, if my picks are right, how many railers? 4 railers and 2 a middle and a wide, which would be a good final in fairness. But there we go. So right, what else was it I had to speak to you about? Of course, it's the Easter Bunny Bags competition that started. I believe Hall Green and Bellevue have got their heats today. It's a peculiar little competition. The way it works is we have heats and finals. I tried to explain this in the blog last time, but in words it doesn't really come out that well. So I thought if I do it talking to you, it would be easier to explain because it is a bit complex. The basic premise is each bags track holds a competition over their sprint, standard and stayers distance. So at Swindon it will be over 285, 480 and 685. For the 285 and the 685, there will be 2 heats of each, so there'll be 12 dogs in the competition. To be in the competition for those 2 particular distances, you have to have, well, first of all, obviously graded on. You have to have also had, I mean, if you're a 480 dog, for example, you'd have to have a trial over one of those different distances. But you would also, and I believe this is to be confirmed, but I've just had a quick look at the cards for today for Hall Green and Bellevue, and they have done it. You have to have had a run over the particular distance. So, for example, if you're a sprinter running in 480, you have to have a trial over the sprint trip, a 2-dog trial, and then have a graded sprint to be eligible for the competition. And there'll be 2 rounds. Obviously, the first 3 from each of the 2 heats go through to a final. The first round, the heats will take place on Monday the 12th of March, and the finals will take place on Friday the 16th. So you've got plenty of time if you want to, mention it to your trainer that you want to be graded on over a certain distance. There's good prize money on offer. I think the heats are £200 to the winner, and I believe the final races also are quite high. I would say £500 to the winner. I think the finals are. But the way that it works then is if you get through to the final, there'll be 2 heats of the sprint, 2 heats the standard, 2 heats the stayers, and 3 heats the standard. The winners then go through to the final. Obviously, the winners of the final, the first and second dogs into the final, both then qualify for the grand final on Good Friday at Swindon. And what it entails then is all the bags tracks all supply the winners of their respective heats into the competition final at Swindon. So you're going to have 3 finals of sprints, 3 finals of 480s, and 3 finals of 685s. It's a good little competition. It's got good prize money involved. I think it's £750 to the winner on those finals, and Bags always put up a cracking trophy. I will say that about Bags. The trophies are superb. So it'll be a good little competition. If you're interested in getting into it, speak to your trainer. Get graded on over the trip. You've not got a lot of time to do it. To be telling you the truth, you've got to think. You'll need a trial and a run. It's going to be pretty tight, But in any event, I'm sure we can help out with that. So, but this is the first audio blog. Anyway, that's me done for now. It saves typing out. That's all. It saves you reading, and you can just listen now. So, if you've got any feedback, obviously just leave a comment on the bottom of the blog or email me at cbwatts@hotmail.co.uk, or you can tweet us at Swindon Racing, or leave us a comment on Facebook. So, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye for now.